Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. In this video I will have about 6 topics to discuss. The first one, the Ukrainians claim they destroyed a lot of Russian jets on a Russian military airfield. They claim it was a drone attack and they destroyed many Russian jets that were over there waiting to be targeted. We're going to have 2 articles on that, actually 3 articles, plus a map. And we're going to figure out, or actually 2 maps, just to make sure that we got our butts covered. And then we're going to have Russia and NATO actually prepare for a direct confrontation. Who's going to strike first? Russia brings more airplanes into Belarus, capable of carrying Khanskaya missiles, and NATO prepares for its annual drills in Europe, like never before. All right, that's these are 2 articles that I'm going to discuss. Next topic: Russia launched a massive drone and missile attack on Ukraine overnight of 9th to 10th of October 2024, and Ukraine retaliates. Ukraine launches its own drones on Ukraine, more drones than the Russians launched. And it seems like the balance of who sends more or who launches more drones, it's becoming the Ukrainians are launching more than the Russians nowadays. I covered yesterday an article where I can't remember exactly, it was the Ukrainians, I think, publishing it via South Korea. South Korea claimed that highly likely North Korean soldiers, military, is fighting in Ukraine and they were killed in Ukraine. Highly likely, right? Highly likely your wife cheats on you. Highly likely. Is it true? Highly likely. That means no, you need more information, more evidence to support that claim. So we're going to discuss how the Telegraph, in this case today, and Fox News cover that. And I will show you how media shapes our perception of reality, which is they make it from a half-truth, like highly likely, into it's actually happening. And then we're going to get the Kremlin's response to these allegations. Next one. Well, a lot of people say that the war in Ukraine is going according to plan, which is, Russia could be kneeled and then disbanded somehow. The evidence, I think, shows the contrary. The Russians are still advancing and the Ukrainians are not advancing, not even being able to keep the positions steady. So let's start with the first article, which comes from the New Voice of Ukraine. Explosions and massive fire break out at Shahed storage base in Krasnodar Krai after Ukrainian strike. Local residents reported hearing explosions at the site of attack. The area surrounding the warehouse has been cordoned off. The fire is estimated to cover an area of 800 square meters. Russian Telegram channels have posted videos of the fire at the base. The defense forces struck a Russian Shahed storage in Krasnodar Krai, Ukraine's general staff confirmed on October 9th. The strike was carried out by the Navy strike group in cooperation with Security Service of Ukraine, targeting the base near the village of Oktyabrski, where about 400 attack drones were being stored. Okay, so let's see where that is located. Here it is, 1,000 of them in Krasnodar Krai. This could be the one. This is one option right here. But it's not necessarily this one. Why? Because we have, unless we look over this little thing here, this could be, but I don't want to say for sure. Why? Because it's many right here. And in Krasnodar Krai with the same name. Go over this map of Ukraine. And you have Krasnodar Krai, and you look over the map and you have try to figure out where that is located. I don't see it on this one. Nevertheless, it's east of the Crimean Peninsula in this area. All right, let's go to the next one. Ukrainian forces strike Russian military airbase, Khanskaya, destroying dozens of warplanes and helicopters. Dozens, that means plural, that means at least 24. A dozen is 12, as we know, right? The airbase housed both training and combat aircraft, including Sukhoi 34, 12 aircraft. Then we have Diamond Da-42, 2 aircraft, L-39, 37 aircraft, Sukhoi 35S, 4 aircraft, MiG-8, 2 helicopters. So, let's see where this thing is located, shall we? Oh, that's not it, it's right here. This is the, let's get the other one out. Right there. So here it is. This is the military airfield that these guys claim they downed. Let's look over what they house over there, shall we? Well, these are okay. You already see that. Let me see the helicopters. Are anywhere any helicopters? It doesn't mean that this is are like, I don't know, not even supersonic. By the wings, these are not supersonic aircraft. You know, if supersonic has to go, the wing has to go back. If it's straight, that means that's below the speed of sound. So subsonic in this case. So this is the mighty military base they claim they hit, and we're gonna go to see where that is located. In this area where that is located, far east from Krasnodar, in this right here in this area. So further, so they attacked in this area, the first one, which was this, the Shahed drone storage, and then we have this supposedly airbase. Sources within the Ukrainian Defense Forces also reported that the attack was carried out by drones from the SBU Security Service, the main intelligence directorate, and Special Operations Forces of Ukraine. Following the strike, a large fire and detonations occurred at the airbase. The Khanskaya airbase, located in the Krasnodar Krai, about 450 kilometers from the front line, is used by the Russian military for refueling and conducting missile and bomb strikes against Ukraine. Additionally, New Voices sources reported that overnight on October 19th, I think this is a mistake, we're not there yet, maybe October 9th, drones from the SBU, AGUR Armed Forces and Special Operations Forces struck the warehouse that I was talking about a minute ago. Now this is another one, and drones near Yeisk. So there's 3. Several power blasts were recorded. The General Staff and Armed Forces of Ukraine confirmed earlier on October 10 the strike of the Russian military airbase in the vicinity of the village of Khanskaya near Maikop in Adygea. I don't know if you pronounce it that way. The statement noted that an ammunition depot was hit, resulting in a fire. So all these things are located in this area. Right here, by the Crimean Peninsula. Next. Actually, we missed this one. General Staff confirms attack on Russian airfield in Adygea video. The General Staff and Armed Forces Ukraine has announced that the Ukrainian forces struck the Khanskaya airfield in the Republic of Adygea, Russia. An ammunition warehouse located at the territory of military facility came under fire. It is noted that Sukhoi 34, Sukhoi 27 aircraft were based at this airfield. Detailed information on the consequences of the damage is still being confirmed. Man, these guys destroyed everything. Alright, so this is according to these guys. Let's go to the NATO and Russian possible nuclear preparation. Here you have this article from Ukrainska Pravda. Second Russian MiG-31K aircraft arrives in Belarus. Why are they shitting their pants? That is one aircraft being deployed to Belarus because of this right here. And this right here is a Kinzhal, the Dagger hypersonic missile that can carry a nuclear warhead. So this is a little small little nuclear warhead here. That's why. So that means Belarus now has, according to these guys, if it's the second 2 MiG-31Ks capable of carrying Missiles into Belarus. I wonder why. I think because the other guys are preparing something else. Let me show you what the other guys are preparing. Here, according to Associated Press, NATO will start an annual nuclear exercise as Russia threatens Ukraine's Western backers. And this is Mark Rutte, an ass leaker from the Netherlands, right there. He took over another ass leaker whose name is Jens Stoltenberg, who was appointed now at the Munich Conference Economic Forum, tralala. NATO will hold a long-planned major nuclear exercise next week, the alliance chief said on Thursday, a few weeks after President Vladimir Putin announced changes to Russia's nuclear doctrine to discourage Ukraine's Western allies from supporting attacks on his country. So they say that these guys are just reacting to Putin, who is just crazy. Therefore, we have to do this. We have to prepare. You have to prepare for a nuclear war. Not Rutte. Rutte is going to be A-OK. You, debatable. And the other ones bring another MiG-31K in Belarus. Let's see what else they say in that article with MiG. A Russian MiG-31K aircraft capable of carrying Kinzhal hypersonic missiles flew to Belarus from Russia. The second one in the last 2 days. Oops, 2 days. So we don't know how many they got over there. According to our data, and I'm quoting, the second fighter MiG-31K of the Russian Air Force has just landed at Mechulinsky Airfield, end quote. Noted that had been no MiG-31K aircraft from the Russian Air Force in Belarus for the past year and a half, beginning 6 April 2023. So this is the second one. That's it. MiG-31K fighters can launch hypersonic aeroballistic missiles KH-47M2 Kinzhal from a distance of 2,000 kilometers. That's about 1,200 miles, let's say. On October 9th, a Russian MiG-31K fighter jet capable of carrying Kinzhal hypersonic missiles arrived in Belarus from Russia for the first time in a year and a half. So yesterday it was the first one, today is the second one, since this is from right there, October 10th. So what do you think? Well, I tell you, when the Russians will use the nuclear weapons, just tactical, small, little thing over there, so just little, not big ones, NATO will say, see, we're attacked, those guys are crazy, we have to react. How are you going to react? I guarantee you they will not use nuclear weapons. Are they going to unleash a conventional war on Russia? Did you read the Russian nuclear weapons use doctrine? That means we're going to push the Tsar bombs and the Sarmats and everything they got. So then what? I think they will talk, or they will try to contain it, because, you know, after all, if you know about Thomas Malthus, you know what it is? All right. If you know about that one, they have to control somehow the increase of population, and not only. Therefore, diseases are not enough, as you can tell. Therefore, they just balance certain things. All right. So they will react. I think NATO will react. How do you call it? Limited reaction. Why? The military-industrial complex, the Raytheons, the Boeings, the Dynamics, and the Lockheed Martin, I don't know if I mentioned that one already, or Raytheon, I said that, or Rheinmetall in Germany, they have to make a profit. The banks are ready to reconstruct whatever those guys destroy. It's just a garbage. So let's see how massive or not massive was the last night Russian missile and drone attack on Ukraine. This is according to Ukrainska Pravda. This is from Thursday, October 10th, 2024. Russia launches 62 drones and 8 missiles at Ukraine. So that would make 70. Correct? Correct. 41 UAVs downed out of 62. Let's see how many were sent back. How many were destroyed with electronic warfare? I know some, how do you call it? Scrambling them. And Russian aircraft launched 62 attack UAVs and 8 missiles at Ukraine on the night of 9 to 10 October. And we find out in total the Air Force's air surveillance troops detected and monitored more than 50 Russian air attack assets. 2 Iskander-M ballistic missiles launched from Crimea, 1 KH-31P from Crimea, 2 Kh-59-69 missiles from Crimea, 3 S-300 anti-aircraft missiles, again from Donetsk Oblast, 62 attack UAVs launched from Primorsko-Akhtarsk and Kursk. Let me show you where these guys were launched: Primorsko-Akhtarsk and Donetsk and Kursk. So Crimea, this is right here. Primorsko-Akhtarsk is across from the Sea of Azov. Here is Primorsko-Akhtarsk, this straight right here. Then we have from occupied Crimea, it's right here. Then we have Donetsk in here. Then we have Kursk right here. So this is the locations used by the Russians to launch their missiles. Got that? Got that. All right, let's see where were we. I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to go and find, oh, right on it. The air attack was repelled by aircraft, anti-aircraft missile troops, electronic warfare units, and mobile fire groups of Ukrainian defense forces. As a result of the combat efforts, 41 attack drones were shot down over Mykolaiv. I'm going to show you all these things. Oblasts: Mykolaiv, Odessa, Kherson, Kiev, Cherkasy, Dnipropetrovsk, Sumy, Poltava, Zaporozhye, and Donetsk Oblast. So those are this area. So this is Odessa, Mykolaiv, Kharkiv, Donetsk, Zaporozhye, Sumy, Kiev, Cherkasy. So all this north, northwest, let's put it this way, south, and a little bit of east. Let's see, do we get to the right one? Oh, look at that. Another 14 drones disappeared, that's what I'm saying, disappeared from radars, likely due to active electronic warfare operations. So you have 41, right? And you have 14, that's what, 55. 55, how many you say, 41? Yeah, 41. So that now it's 55 out of 62. So that's what, 7 drones escaped, maybe, or maybe just returned somewhere. Let's see. No, they don't say. So 52, they were capable. 7 missed, and there were 8 missiles. Did they say anything about how many they downed? Let's see, maybe this guy say. According to Ukrainian Forum, Ukrainian defense forces shot down 41 Russian drones. This is the evidence. And as you can tell, there's no missiles. So all 8 missiles, I don't know what happened to them, they don't say. And here you have the evidence. This is the evidence, okay? You have to accept it. Like, remember Colin Powell, the general in front of the United Nations, showing us some hand-drawing mobile chemical labs that Saddam supposedly had. Remember, he made a point over there with those drawings. He was showing, like Netanyahu comes with drawings and show you things. Yeah, all right. So they are just show you this, and this is the evidence. The Russians cannot use the same kind of methods to provide evidence, okay? Why? Because they're bad people. Who says that? Well, we, or they. From 19 hours, so that is 7 p.m. on Wednesday, October 9 to 10 a.m. on Thursday, October 10, the Russian invaders attacked Ukraine using strike drones and missiles of various types. In total, the radio engineers troops of Ukraine's air forces detected and tracked over 50 aerial attack devices, including the same thing here, the same thing here. As a result, and nothing about the missiles. Russia launches missiles, drones. Let's see, I think it's the same BS here, and it's exactly what it is. They don't say anything about the missiles. So let's see what the Ukrainians did to the Russians. They returned a favor. According to Sputnik, this is from 8 hours ago, today on October 10th, 2024. Russian air defenses destroyed 92 Ukrainian drones over past night. 92 out of how many? 1,000? Maybe they will say. Moscow. Russian officials reportedly slammed Ukrainian drones attack at acts of terrorism. Russian air defense systems destroyed 92 Ukrainian drones overnight over 7 Russian regions and Sea of Azov, the Russian Defense Ministry said on Thursday. So are they responsible for this one? Are they responsible for this one? And obviously for this one, right? Possibly. And I'm quoting, over the past night, 92 Ukrainian drones of airplane type were destroyed and intercepted by on-duty air defense means during the Kiev's regime attempt to carry out a terrorist act using unmanned aerial vehicles against objects on the territory of Russia, the ministry said in a statement. some 47 drones were intercepted and destroyed off the Krasnodar Krai. That's the one with Airfield and with Shahed drones storage. 12 over Kursk region, 9 over Rostov region, 4 over the Bryansk region, 2 each over the Belgorod region and the Republic of Crimea, 1 of the Voronezh, and 15 over the Azov Sea. So let's see where this is. This is basically Bryansk, Kursk, then you got Voronezh, Belgorod, then we got Krasnodar Krai, which is this area right here. Then you got Crimean Peninsula in here. So this is Crimean Peninsula, Krasnodar Krai, Rostov in here. That was the attack conducted by the Ukrainians. The Telegraph. I want you to look at the title. Now that's a statement, or the headline. It's a statement. It's a true fact by the statement. North Korean troops fighting for Putin, killed in Ukraine. So this is one. The second one comes from the Fox News. North Korean troops now fighting for Russia and Ukraine. Seoul says. So this is a statement, a true statement. You don't see allegedly, you don't see could, might, maybe. Those are statements that I tell you, he cheats on her or she cheats on him. Now, it's not like she highly likely cheats on him. He highly likely cheats on her. It's a difference, and the difference is true, which I have the evidence. I have no doubt saying that that's the point. But this one, no, I'm not sure. Now, how can you not be sure? You either know or you don't know if those guys were North Korean military. You should know that. Otherwise, shut the fuck up. But they don't. So I don't know about you, but most people, and that's studies conducted on this one, most people, when they go over there, let's say, read their news on a telephone, on a computer, they just scroll down. They go by the title, pack. Rarely someone has time to go into each and every article that scrolls over. Why? You don't have time. And some subjects you're not interested in, but scrolling down, you see if that interests you, so you read it. By reading it, it goes there in the subconscious with repetition. So you know, if you just scroll down and you don't enter, you don't access or open the article, you know that North Korean troops now fighting for Russia and Ukraine. You know that. And here again, you know that. So if you read a Telegraph or just go scroll down, North Korean troops fighting for Putin killed in Ukraine. That's a fact. There's no But let's read the text inside the article. North Korean soldiers have probably been killed. He probably cheats on her. Is it true? No. It's probably or highly likely or unlikely. And the other one, North Korea is now sending troops to fight and die in Ukraine alongside Russian soldiers. These are assholes right here. Already it's another statement. It's like it's no. It's now sending troops. According to Seoul, no. He didn't say that. Kim told South Korean politicians on Tuesday it was highly likely 6 Korean officers were killed in a Ukrainian missile strike on Donetsk. Highly likely. And here, on top of it, is now sending troops. Now this is misinformation and disinformation done by Fox News and by the Telegraph. Are we going to close them? Because obviously the guy says it's highly likely, and these guys title it is. That's disinformation because you know that's not proven. Those guys don't know for sure. Therefore, this is disinformation. If you wouldn't know, which you know, that would be misinformation. So you have Telegraph and how do you call it? Fox. There you have them, and they do this constantly, and you sometimes don't know because you just scroll over. You read only the headline, but you don't read the 2 or 3 paragraphs, understanding that's a nuance over there. The nuance that changes everything. That's exactly how these guys make points. They make points by bringing half-truths, things that are highly likely, could, might, and then at the end they reach a conclusion based on all these half-truths or uncertainties, and they say it is like that. But if you go to their evidence, you're going to find all kind of highly likely, could, possibly, might. Some people say it, probable. You don't make that like that. It's not evidence. But the conclusion is based on that. I've seen this in college. Professors, PhDs, doing that, and I was calling them out. And then what they do? Change the subject. Oh yeah, you're too peculiar or particular, or whatever they said. One of them at least. I said, yeah, really? And you should not be over here. You should be, I don't know, pushing carts somewhere. All right, so that's another one. And let's see what the Russians are saying about it. Now, it doesn't mean the Russians tell the truth, but we don't have the evidence yet provided by the guys with the allegations, South Koreans. They say highly likely. Russia Today. Now remember, it's another thing. Hey, you cheat on your wife, or you highly likely cheat on your wife. You got the difference? All right, let's move on. Why do I use these kind of examples? Is to make sure that resonates directly with someone. It was, oh my God, no, You know, I give you a feeling, not only an intellectual, you know, logical. You see how I give you something that you can or cannot resonate. If someone would accuse you, let's say you are not doing that, and someone say you are cheating on your wife. What was the first one? What would be your first? You could say no. What's your evidence, you asshole? Or you can say, yes, fuck off. Or, you know, and many other options. Let's put it this way. So let's go to what the Russians say, according to Russia Today. Claims about North Korean soldiers a hoax, end quote, Kremlin said. Seoul has previously claimed that Pyongyang could, you see that, could send its regular military to Ukraine to fight for Moscow. Now that's why these guys from Russia Today are more, you know what I mean, than Fox News and the Telegraph. That's why they are more. You know what I mean. I can say it because I will be accused of this and that. I understand. Reports that North Korean military personnel are fighting alongside Russian forces in the Ukraine conflict are untrue. This is what these guys claim as a statement, not could be or might be. It says, South Korean Defense Minister Kim Jong-hyun claimed during a parliamentary session earlier this week that Pyongyang could send its forces to fight for Russia after it signed a mutual security treaty with Moscow. He described the possibility of such deployment as highly likely and said this looks like another hoax. Peskov. So who do you trust? Who do you think was more professional in the, I don't know, media? Was it Russia Today or was it Fox News and the Telegraph? I think that's not even close. Let's move on. All right, let's see. This was actually the last as an article. Let's talk generally about the war. An assessment. NATO will push forward, and NATO will provoke Russia. That's what I say, into maybe using its nuclear weapons. Why do I say provoke? They will probably not give a green light to the so-called Ukrainians to hit targets deep inside Russia with American or British long-range missiles and so on. They will not do it officially, but I think under the table that will occur. The Russians will find out. The Russians will come and expose that with their evidence, or not with the drawings like the other ones. They will not be trusted because of the Fox News's, CBS's, ABC's, MSNBC's and all that, CNN's, and Telegraphs and Deutsche Welle and BBC. They will not be trusted. They will tell you that's not to be trusted. Why? The evidence is they are liars. Why? Because they said so. And the Russians after that, they will say, we'll do this. This is the doctrine. We're going to react. And everybody will be, oy vey. These guys are criminals, didn't we tell you that? The same thing as the Japanese in Pearl Harbor. Just an unexpected attack on Pearl Harbor. Do you know that was unexpected? Well, why don't you read? If you think that it was unexpected, then I want you to read more. If you know, very good, very good. When that occurred, right, on the 7th of December 1941, right, when that occurred, the Japanese ambassador, I think he was at the White House, and when it occurred, he went and issued a declaration of war. Why? And these guys were waiting. Those guys being Franklin Delano Roosevelt, then the President of the United States of America. He was waiting for these guys to enter. Why? Well, as I said, if you know something about history and you know something about it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. about knowing about this and that. They were decoding the Japanese communication for some time, the Americans, just so you know, to give you another clue. Like the other guys, the allies in Europe, they were decoding the Enigma. The Enigma was the German encoding machine and decoding machine. And they had it already. Why? A stupid plane was shot down over Poland, and the Poles got the Enigma and sent it to London. And these guys were able to decipher the Germans. Since then, they knew these guys' the communication. And still, they didn't flat out win. Anyway, that tells you something else. So that's what could happen. And then they will be blamed. They will be the criminals. That's because these NATO drills now are unprecedented. They do every year. But this one is special all along the Watchtower, right? Jimi Hendrix, right? Or isn't that, what's his name? Robert Zimmerman. You know who Robert Zimmerman is? The singer. So-called Bob Dylan. Yeah, okay. If you don't know that, again, my God. So they do it all along the 1,000-mile border between NATO and Russia, as they say it. We're in bad shape, and I think these guys will push it because they have nothing to lose. What would, let's say, Raytheon have to lose? Nothing. What would the international banking system have to lose? Or International Monetary Fund or the World Bank? Nothing. They don't. They will win. What will be the energy sector losing? Nothing. They win. These are opportunities, business opportunities. And they have the politicians. What do they have to lose? Elections? Who counts the vote? Oh, my bad. The machines. And who's going to be now are the Ukrainians. Then could be the Poles. Then could be the Baltic states. That could be the Romanians. That could be, I don't know, maybe next is going to be moving a little bit more west. And when westward. And when things are going to come closer to these baboons in charge of us, they will immediately talk to whomever is in charge of Russia. I guarantee you that. 100%. There was not going to be a, oh my God, the world will explode. You never know. Maybe some shaky finger are going to push the wrong button. That's possible. Or that's possible. But they will get an understanding fast and furious as soon as it hurts them a bit. A second, Scholz's and these guys supposedly in charge is the banking systems, the military-industrial complex, and the energy sector. Once they are really affected by the Russians, through different ways, you know, pay them a visit, send them some flying things, and so on. Once they are affected a little bit, I guarantee you they will say, stop. Until then, they control it. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.